My other Spanish is very bad. I try hard, but it's a work in process, as Rafael and others have seen. First, I think we have a chance to make a phone call, and I'm going to push buttons and see if anything magic happens, or... thank goodness for the technical. Are we okay? Are we having a good time? There's so many of you. This is not how they... please, house rules. Please make noise. Please check your mail. Answer the phone, it's okay. Please don't be quiet. Oh, it's like church. We already have that. We do that another day. All right, look. People. Hola. So hopefully we have a call ready to go. I see, but do not hear. There he is.
You don't hear?
There we go, I hear.
What
Joseph
don't you
Jeffy,
hear?
Mitch Joel.
Well, that's because we weren't talking.
Perhaps you remember. I can't go anywhere without you boys showing up. It's strange. So
I thought you were bald, Chris.
I'm growing it back. I had to give the crown back to Seth Godin, literally. Tell me, what should I know now that I'm standing in front of 760 brilliant Mexican professionals? Mitch, what do you think? What should I be able to tell these people that I don't know to tell them? What's your lesson?
I think you need to... I think my lesson is they need to listen to you about how they need to start building trust. That's what I would say.
Well, that's cheapy. Joseph, come on, take a stretch here and be confrontational. What do you think that these people should learn from us?
Well, when you said, what should I know, I was going to say, always make sure that when you have a tequila in one hand, you have a sangrita in another hand. And sip them. Don't down them, just sip them. That's pretty much the most important thing to coping in Mexico. But that's for you, right? For them, they are, and they know this because I've had the pleasure of being there before, they're a very open-minded, progressive group of marketers. And in the spirit of community dialogue and partnership, it's back to listening and a two-way street. People talk about conversation being two-way, and it's not monologue, it's dialogue. But the whole thing about listening is listening with a purpose. Listening with a purpose and a point of view and the ability to respond and the ability to disagree, but it's working together as partners. And I think when you meet in the middle, amazing things can happen.
Meeting in the middle. Now, Mitch, I heard from more than one person that you were sort of like a gift fairy last year, and I don't know that I can live up to this, but how did that work? What was your magic? How did that happen?
Well, I asked the question, can I sample sort of what I did last year with the crowd now?
Sure. Why don't you try a question?
Okay, so I'll ask a question. I'll need you to be my eyes and ears, Chris, because I can't really see because I see your pretty face. But so, I would do a question recently in Silicon Alley Insider, they did this amazing chart that showed where people really are sharing and where they're not sharing. And obviously, the number one place they're sharing, at 24%, is Facebook. What do you think would be number two, the number two place that people are sharing content on the internet?
Did you all hear that? So number one place where people sharing on the internet is Facebook. What's number two is the question Mitch asks. I need a hand right up.
Let's see if someone gets it right, yeah.
Put a hand up, and if I could. Okay, your answer? Say again? Porn. Oh, porn. The number two place they're sharing is porn. My favorite. That's their answer, Mitch. I don't know that that's going to be a right answer, yeah?
I was going to say, wow, I really miss Mexico.
Viva Mexico.
No, what would be the number two place to be? And it's not what you think. So someone take a good guess.
So obviously sharing. So it's a place where people either maybe socially bookmark.
Share stuff online, yeah.
You have a link. Oh, we have a hand. Sorry, please. Twitter.
No, Twitter is actually, let me tell you where Twitter was. Twitter was actually number 3 with 10.9%. And again, it's not obvious, something else right in the middle. Edged it ahead by 11.1%.
YouTube.
No, YouTube actually isn't even really there, to be honest, from what I'm seeing.
Sir. Delicious.
Delicious would be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but so let's make it easier. The next person who can tell me one that's really good that's on this list.
Okay, the next. Say again. Messenger, like I am.
Messenger, no, not here.
Another hand.
It's
Stumbled upon.
Stumble Upon is there, and what I did is, for example, last year is I gave away a BlackBerry.
A BlackBerry.
So what I thought I'd do is, so what I thought I'd do this year is just give away another BlackBerry. So whoever calls,
How interesting! I have a BlackBerry. All right.
Cool.
So what was number 2? I think I know what it is.
Okay, so Joe, what was it?
So you're asking what is the number 2 place that people are sharing?
Who cares? We give away a BlackBerry.
I was gonna say email.
Email is correct.
Email.
Joseph Jaffe gets it. So Joe, you want a copy of this?
Oh.
Oh wait, you got it already.
Pitch Joel.
Good job.
Wonderful. Well, gentlemen,
Pitch show. That's very good.
our time has drawn to a close. But thank you so much for being available for IAB Mexico.
That's my question.
Hey guys, everybody there, you got to listen to everything that this man is about to tell you. In fact, if I didn't have to leave, I would force him to leave the camera on so I could watch him again. Get his book, Trust Agents, and listen to everything he has to say. He's awesome.
Joseph,
I
last
hope I'll
words.
see you next year.
See you soon.
Yeah, I echo that, and hopefully people that are in the audience were there to listen to me, to listen to Mitch, and now the third musketeer is in the house. So enjoy it, soak him up, show him a good time, and let's keep the conversation going. Hopefully next time there'll be 4 of us on screen.
Bueno. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Mitch.
Take care.
And it's not going. There we go. I can close computers with the best of them. Sure, that's me. Boop. All right, I like time. I've learned about Mexican time. Fascinating. Fascinating, I love it. That's how I work. By a show of applause, because I can't see anything because of the lights, who knows me because of Twitter? Or has spoken? Applause, I can't see your hands. Thank you. Thank you. See, that's just a cheap trick. So I always bring my own hashtag with me, so as well as IAB Conecta, if you feel like typing more, type Trust Agents. Why I asked that question, though, is because I have the opportunity to fall in love over and over again when I travel, because I find people that maybe know me already, so that first barrier is broken. That first awkward, I don't know, hi. Believe it or not, you will not, I'm very shy. And so in meeting people, it's great when I feel like we already know each other, because then it's faster. Ephraim, I know, Jesus, we know each other, so it's quicker. By the way, I've learned that sarcasm, do you know the word? Okay, doesn't translate very well, and that's my first language. I speak English as a second language. I speak sarcasm first, and we all know, I'm not Mexican. No good. So pardon me, because if at some point you believe that I am being insulting, I might be, but I'm at least being sarcastic. I call myself a typist, but I realize that if you're going to give me your time and loan me some time, I should tell you a bit more about me. That is a horrible soda that they only make in New England, and I grew up liking it. So if you Google these words, it's easier than me talking about me, because those are things that I do. One is my book. The second is an unconference that I founded with Chris Penn. Third is where I work. If you Google "No, I don't sleep," I am number one. This is at least true in the US. I don't know in Mexico. I'm sorry. What I do essentially is almost embarrassing. I work with companies to show them how to be human again. So I get a small company, mine, 3 people, and what we do is we go to very big companies, GM or PepsiCo or someone, and we say, here's what social media means to me, why we do it, etc. Oh, I just realized I have a clicker, don't I? Power. I will break this within 5 minutes, I promise. There will be an assistant breaking, unbreaking. What's in it for me? If you never start a speech with what's in it for me, then you all fall asleep or check email faster. The goal here is just to explain to you how I see the world. I'll go a little faster because I'd like to be on time. 500 channels was what we thought we were fighting almost 10 years ago. We thought in marketing that we were worried that there were too many TV channels, so audience was splinter. Now we hear of the 3 screens. Oh no, they can't watch my ad because they're watching their laptop. Oh no, they're also using their cell phone, their mobile. It's worse than that, it's bigger than that, there's way more than that. So attention is splintering everywhere. See, I already break it, yeah? Yeah, so this is conferences today. Yes, this is at the 140 Characters Conference in New York, where it was a conference about Twitter. Go figure. I met a supermodel and a famous rock and roll star, so I was like, check, I'm good. No business, but a supermodel. But this is how we absorb, right? We never do one thing. Those of us who bring our work home with us, who still, can pretend to be married, our spouse is watching TV, we're typing, yes? Distribution has not stayed in step with this, even though it should be easier. In the conversation earlier today, the thought that I was thinking about was that we started putting up price walls on the internet to try to keep our content in, and then we started worrying, where did all the audience go? So we didn't help with distribution. The other thing we asked for is we said, okay, I understand AOL. Oh, here's the real internet. It's big, right? And so we broke out of our portal, and now we've spent a lot of time trying to get back into our portal. This might be a little more true in the US. We also have to realize that as we do move these things towards the digital, the real world did not go away. People still live in the real world, honest. And when there's an opportunity now for advertising and marketing, it isn't digital saves everything. It is not social media saves everything. Physical, functional marketing is fabulous still. This is from Toyota. Well, I think Crispin Porter, I don't know. Some nice people made ads where this is the ad. It's a giant daisy for Prius, for the Toyota Prius. And what it is solar Wi-Fi and electrical power so that you can come and plug your laptop in. That's for me. Say I'm a little busy. I'll call back. But there's Wi-Fi and power there. For a guy like me who travels all the time, this is Mecca. Just maybe a fold-out bed and whiskey, and I'd be okay. I like liquor. But that's advertising. I mean, what good feeling do we have there? We walk away with a wonderful feeling. See? There's my whole Spanish. What happened is we became the media. First, a point of fact, 57% of statistics are made up immediately, right on the fly. They're fake. Thank you. Tony Perkins from Always On Media has a speech where he says, between the ages of 13 and 18, perhaps at least in the US, 66% of the media that 13 and 18-year-old, between 13 and 18, consume is made by their peers. So you're not worrying about people not watching your ad. They're not even watching your media. Forget product placement. We're the media now. Look at these people. This is what happens at my events, at podcamps and things. We're doing it. We're filming. We're photoing. We're twit-picking. We're tweeting. Please tweet. It's not just 3 screens. This is a war on our attention. Do you know the artist Jackson Pollock with the splats and the spots and the spoot? That's data now. That is our information coming in now. Who here would like 300 more emails? Anyone? A day? No. But that's what we get. We have emails, and then we're told, you must read these blogs. These blogs are good to help you with your business. And then you're telling your client, oh, we should participate here. You must be on Facebook. You must be on Twitter. You must be. In this, we lose attention, and we have to understand that there's 3 things that we need desperately. First, we just need awareness, which is where advertising still works well. Hey, I'm making you aware. Sometimes it's obnoxious. I was watching the ads. Is Uvu a sponsor? I was watching the very good ads on Uvu that were distracting me and wiggling and telling me, I'm here, I'm an ad. I see you. I know you're there. But after attention, we need reputation. Because once I have your attention, look, you're all looking at me. But why should you listen to me? Go ahead, vámonos. Have some beer. Negro Modelo for me. And then trust. Why do we trust people? I asked this question on my Facebook group today. I said, why do we trust airline pilots? We just walk into a plane, they have the clothes on, and we sit down and say, okay, take my life. Really though, eh? Ooh. I fly a lot, so that scares me. That's like a shark joke. Why do we bother with social media? It feels like this, doesn't it? Standing on a skateboard, juggling fire. There's so much to do, and it's crazy, and it doesn't make sense. What if you're standing on a skateboard, juggling into a fire, 6 feet in the ground? You'll see him later, too. His name is Piper. He's originally from Vancouver. I met him in Wellington, New Zealand. What a life, right? Quit your jobs. Be a busker. But people are the best connectors. I made this up last night, and I'm proud of myself because sometimes I accidentally invent. Real product placement matters, right? If I happen to embrace this phone or another phone or whatever, the wonderful BlackBerry Bold, great phone, real-time product placement amongst our peers and our friends matter. We see Tiger Woods standing beside a car. Do we go, wow, he really likes that car? We should get that car because we like Tiger Woods. They've decided for me. That's great. Is that how we buy? Now, the only one place where that is true is clothing, yes? When we buy clothing, we're like, that girl is sexy. That dress is perfect. We do that. When I'm sent to the store to pick up hair color, which is a bad thing to send a man to do, I'm looking at the models going, she's kind of nice looking. So I come home with the weirdest colors, but the prettiest girl. Real product placement, yeah. So this thing that comes in mind, did I skip one? All right. What is a trust agent? This is the name of a book I have coming out in August. I'll be like Mitch and I'll pitch. Please buy many. Buy 100. That's okay. I won't tell. This is our term for people we think will help companies and people understand how to be human at a distance on the web. And it applies to big companies, and small businesses already know it. As Joe said earlier, don't write down anything if you don't want. I'll give you the slides for free. They're very cheap. Just an email address. Who heard the Google thing last night? Last night I made the comment, this trick we do as marketers where we ask you we'll give you the wonderful free ebook. And all you need to do is write down your first name, last name, title, company, cell phone number, email address, what your approximate budget is for the coming year, and we'll give you that free ebook. I don't want to work that hard for a free ebook. Give me something I like porn. Then I fill that all out. But isn't it funny because we lie like that? We lie. We want to give you this very important information, so we want to get as much data out of you as we humanly can. Stop it. Stop lying. Just say, I would like your email because I'm hoping to sell you things. So these are the 6 things we write about in the book Trust Agents, and I used it to frame what we're doing. First and foremost is make your own game, the importance of being unique. When we say this, if everybody's already doing it, then why try? Why be that? Why be another XYZ? If you can explain yourself by saying we're this different color, that's not good. Be unique. Newspapers are doing this a great deal. In the US, USA Today has done a lot to stop being a newspaper and buying a lot of blogs instead and acquiring good blog content so that they can make their own game and own the space of professionally built blogs. OODA is a strategy tool called Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. My only point in putting that slide up is to say that this is always a moving target. Social media, everyone's always wanting the best case studies. I'll tell you where mine are. But we're writing it as we go. First, visitor advantage. When you hear of a new site, when you hear of some new toy to try out, the one thing that you can do differently, should you want to help your clients, is get in there and understand that new medium, understand those new toys. I am somebody on Twitter, and that's embarrassing to say, it's like the worst. That's like saying I'm really good at bicycling, but I don't mean Tour de France. I can stand up anywhere in the world and ask, do you know who I am? And they all say no. So I'm not famous. But on Twitter, people know me. But it's only because I was there since October 06. I was first visitor. So I know things about Twitter just from time. But here's a first visitor. Kogi Barbecue sells Korean barbecue out of an ice cream truck. And what they do is they tweet where they are. And so, these little trucks, here's some food. They tweet, and all of the people who love Korean barbecue, of which evidently there's a lot in Los Angeles, come rushing and buy out the food. And they sell out all their food because this little truck tweets where it's going to be. My friend Doug stole the idea and made the big gay ice cream truck. Doug and I attended 8th grade together. You might notice that his flavors are kind of interesting. Wasabi peas on ice cream, curried coconut, grape nuts, olive oil on ice cream. Keep saying ice cream as you think this. Dulce de leche, that's okay. Blueberries, fine. But Doug has 2 markets going. Everybody loves ice cream, and some people love gay people. He meets both. It works out perfect. Big gay ice cream truck. And he stole that from Kogi. So he's second visitor. This is a phrase, listening at the point of need. The one thing I advocate a lot is we always talk about how to make things, how to add more layers to stuff. But listening tools are the new black to me. Listening at the point of need is a phrase that I stole from Marcel Lebrun, who is CEO of Radian 6, which is a listening tool that I advocate for a lot. And what he says is the social phone is ringing. Are you answering? And so I talk a lot about when you make your campaign and you're trying to drive people to a website, what if they don't go to the website, but they have the conversation, i.e. It's just as good, yes? They're still talking about what you wanted them to talk about. They just didn't do it right down the little funnel that you made. Why wouldn't you go and talk to them there? These tools, these new listening tools, some of them free, some of them not very expensive, most of them not very expensive, are definitely part of that. This slide, I'll go quicker. This slide is just saying for goal alignment, social media is not and should not be its own department. Just like I think very soon when we're calling ourselves digital marketing agencies, that's like saying a paper newspaper company. Yes, because we're going to be just marketing agencies. Calling yourself a social media group or social media agency is like calling yourself the fax agency. It was brilliant 21 years ago. Now not so clever yet. The thing is to think human-shaped. What we did from 1950s to 2006 is we learned mass communication to go along with mass building, mass industrial building, right? But we don't like that, right? Dear colleague, do you get that email? Dear friend, that's never fun. You want to be someone who's seen. In the Zulu tribes in Africa, instead of saying hola, they say, I see you. I recognize you. I know you're there. You're a person. That's what you shoot for, yes? Thinking human shape means to make sure that you're paying attention to the human size of your marketing and not the vast Does it scale? No. Is it replicable? Yes. That's all that matters. Cafe shaped. Cafe shaped means this is the Roger Smith Hotel. This is actually the bar in the Roger Smith Hotel where we are all spending a great deal of money. Drinking, it turns out. I tweeted, I said, where's anybody staying in New York these days? Where are the fun people staying in New York? And a friend said, you should stay at the Roger Smith Hotel. Right away, another friend, you should stay at the Roger Smith Hotel. And then the Roger Smith, we'd love to have you, come stay. Oh my goodness, a hotel just talked to me. And they said, and this is the good part, we have a special rate for bloggers. Hotels have a special rate for everything, just FYI. We have a special rate for people who like ice cubes. Yes, right? So, but I go there and they treat me like a king. But that doesn't matter because I write that off. Oh, they just want me to write about them in my blog. But they treat my friends like kings. That's always magic, yes? Treat someone's friends or someone's children like very important people and you own them forever. And I mean own in the most manipulating sense of the word. Look how happy she is. That's a lot of free liquor. This is a client thing I did. It's called work shifting. And the idea was the client was the company Citrix Online who has GoToMyPC, GoToMeeting, those products. Work shifting was this idea we came up with for them that just said, don't sell your dumb product. No one wants it. They want to buy something that helps them do their job better. And so we made a blog that was people-sized. And so we talk about how a new person can start to commute on the web, or how a new person, or how the boss needs to change things for you to work on the web. We made it about people. This just means when I say C2 hops down, the number one thing you might be thinking if you're the boss is ROI. The number two thing you might be thinking is he's stupid. The number one thing you're thinking if you're younger is he's stupid. The number two thing you're thinking is who cares? We know it's the right thing to do. See? So seeing two hops down means that once you build these relationships, you'll find the value in them. That's how we do magazines. That's how we do most of the internet. All the startups in 2000 and before, just around then, we're saying as long as we start, we know we'll find something of value. Twitter, by the way, they have no idea how to make money. And then synthesize. That's just take the ideas from more places and put them into one. I was talking maybe to Daniel about woe. And how everything is synthesized now. Nothing is new. The other trust agent point is one of us. The very biggest difference these tools allow for is the feeling that somebody is one of us. Because when I think of Google, I don't think of Sergey and Larry. I think of Matt Cutts, who's one of their most prolific bloggers and their Twitterer. And the person who represents Google to me is Matt, because if I ask a question or I talk about something that I don't understand in Google, Matt responds, and he's one of us. So he represents that company in a way that we weren't having before. In the US, or the airlines, we have JetBlue talking back and forth, and you can ask questions, you can understand. Customer service has moved to this. And if you wonder why I think of customer service when I think of marketing and advertising, it's because it is. If you took some of your marketing budget and pushed it into advertising, 2%, just 2%, that would change the experience in customer service where they're cash-starved, which is why they offer lower than quality customer service. My point, community is vital to how these tools work, the social tools. You do not wander in and market to these people. You build a community, and they become this. They become your trusted audience. By the way, something I like to think about, the difference between an audience and a community is how you turn the chairs. Right now, you're the audience. When we turn and we talk to our peers, if I leave you with nothing, just write that one, that's okay. That's the important one. Because it's not what I say, it's what you all know. You have the smartest people. Why bring a strange white man from USA to come and talk when you have the experts in this audience? Don't be offended. Be ready for your opportunity for an IAB next year. Because you do more than I do anyway, and you know more than I do. I'm just the validation. Move with purpose. This is what we learn in social skills. When we enter a room and we do this, we're not attractive. We're not even someone anyone wants to talk to. When you enter the room and, con mucho gusto, yeah? Right? Then you're somebody. It's the same on the web. Don't wander in and fluff around. Be there. Be a person from the start. Make mistakes. We like mistakes. Gary does this. Gary Vaynerchuk. If you do not know Gary, it's tv.winelibrary, that word, .com. Gary talks about wine the way people usually talk about sport. Gary talks about drinking a wine. He never says things like a delicious fruity bouquet. He says it tastes a bit like a sweaty sock. Gary will tell you, now, here's the story. He's a young Russian gentleman. He lives in the U.S. He's U.S. born, I think. And his family runs a wine company. And what he does is he goes on and he reviews wines. You would think that this means he would try to promote the wines that were better for profit. He does not. His parents once came to him and said, Gary, we have a giant pallet of wine that we need to get rid of. And you have to move it on your show. And Gary said, no. What I'll do is I'll review it. And so the day comes, and he usually reviews 3 bottles at a time, and he gets to this wine, and terrible. And you can hear almost off camera his parents going, oh. Lord knows. Part of the one of us is the insider's advantage. You somewhere now already have that friend who works somewhere that when you go there, they make you feel special. You get the inside treatment, yes? It could be at a restaurant where your friend is the maitre d'. It could be at a hotel somewhere here. It could be anywhere where you go and they make you feel good because you have the insider's advantage. Or when you come here and you know people already, so you don't feel alone. That's the magic of these tools. These are 2 authors. You might know Paulo Coelho. See, no, maybe? All right, thank you. You're alive, yes? Okay, we'll stand up soon. I like noise. Neil is Neil Gaiman, who the movie Coraline, that's one of his books. He's if you're a comic book freak, he's a long-standing comic guy. They talk to people. They talk all the time. My screen capture is unfortunate for Paulo because he's talking about the plane crash accident. But normally, Paulo is talking back and forth to people. Neil is talking back to people. Guess whose line is the longest at the giant conference where people are signing books? Neil's line wrapped around about the size of this room twice. Nobody else had a line like that. I had a little line and I felt proud, but Neil had the line. Say we, not you. Say us, not your team and my team. It's just simple words. No one just went, oh, that's it. But that is it. Because we stopped doing that. Somehow we stopped including people as our friends. What are friends but people you've yet to meet that are your friend? You just want their money. Listening is the new black. I'll beat that into the ground, I promise. You know, the social phone is ringing. Is anyone there to answer that phone? Your customers and your clients' customers are already talking about you. Why aren't you bringing them reports of these conversations? Unasked. Because these are opportunities for sale that aren't an ad. It is not a talking dog. There's no puppet with someone's hand up its ass. It's a plain, blatant opportunity to do real business. This is simply, in the world of trust agents, the importance of leverage. This is more for a person than a company to think about. But you, think about leverage as the opportunity of things like turning 50 pesos into 100 pesos. Think about the opportunities that come out of the internet when you leverage. And here's what I mean by this. Having a conversation in a place like Facebook, on Twitter, and by the way, here's a thing to bring back to every one of your clients. Facebook is not for everybody. Facebook is not the magic secret of doing business. Neither is Twitter. Definitely not YouTube. Facebook is not magic. We have opportunities, though, to do something very human on blogs, on other people's blogs, commenting on other sites. Think of how we always think as interactives and whatnot. We say, we'll build you a microsite. It'll be the best microsite. You will get 2 million views the first day on your new microsite. We never say, let's just go talk to the people where they already are. There's a site right down the street that's got the traffic. Let's go talk to them. Platform thinking. Twitter is not amazing. Because I'm on Twitter does not make me amazing. My blog alone does not. What I did was I built a platform, and by that I mean I use Twitter, I use Facebook, I use blogs, I use everything I can to connect and make message. Be everywhere. Same point. Be everywhere physically, be everywhere that you can be on the web, and do it in a way that you can find it all. That's where portals come back in. Portals should no longer be trying to drive you to the portal to find advertisements. It should be ways to drive you away, out to the fringe where all the people are. People aren't anxious to go to your portal. People are anxious to find the community that they're looking for. Striving up. Once you get a level of success, go up higher. This is you personally. This is you, your client. This is you, social use of media. Don't stop. Agent Zero is another trust agent thing about the importance of networks. You sideways in this room, any one stripe, any one row, are so much smarter than me. This is not the Wikipedia thing. This isn't even really James' Wisdom of Crowds or Wiki. This is just basic truth. You are so much smarter than me. And what you miss is you come here, you say hola, have a few drinks, you go home. Gather. Rise up. No king ever ordered a revolution. You have that power just by yourself. It's magic, yes? But Moms Like Me is a site I was talking about earlier that gathers people. But it gathers them because moms talk in a different way about mom things. And non-moms don't go to the site. This means connect all the time. Always connect. Open your Rolodex to everybody. Why are you not on LinkedIn? Are you using Zing? How come you're not just on Facebook? Connect and find more people. Be a promiscuous connector. Isn't that great? I say this to the room. I didn't know this whole thing about the language, that everything means two things. Boy, do I have a lot of apologizing to do. But in this case, I mean it. Be promiscuous. Connect with everybody. Connect all the time, not because you have the best of connections with them, but because someone needs that person you're connecting to, and you now might build a network of people who will start to understand you and trust you. On LinkedIn, connect with everyone, but only recommend people that you really know. That's the trick there. This guy, this is Wellington, New Zealand. This guy is playing, he thinks he's young Bob Dylan. He's just playing doo-doo-be-da-ba-ba. See, you could see it, right? Don't you? You kind of want to punch him. Is that just me? I want to punch him. And here what you cannot see is you could not see the guitar case with nothing but the few dollars he threw in. Nothing. Guy made no money. I watched him for 30 minutes. Horrible singing. This is Piper again. Piper is standing on a scaffolding, which is not connected, so he's just kind of ding, 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 like that, juggling swords. And he knows the names of 7 people in the audience. He's looking at us. He's saying, Chris, how's this? Am I doing okay? He's looking. He's saying, Raphael, how am I doing? He knew everybody in that audience. Piper, when he just put his little baseball hat down, it was overflowing with money. He made more money than I make in a day. Or that's my lie, and I'm sticking to it. The systems. Connect on the systems. Use Facebook. Look, I'm connecting. I'm saying I love Mexico City. All these people start talking to me about Mexico City. You never know what you're going to find. Connect using the systems because that's what they're there for. LinkedIn is a great place to connect. You have great opportunities. If you can write really fast, you can take their names down and write them too. Usually I cover the emails. I forgot. But I connect all the time as best as I can because you just never know. I looked first before coming to see who I knew in Mexico. I had about 9 people. It's great. I'd love to connect with you, by the way. There's a number in networking called Dunbar's number, which suggests that you can only really know 150 people intimately. Your question might be, how can I know several thousand people? Of course I do not. But if you can be part of enough people's 150, meaning they only know 150 people, you connect into theirs. If you can be part of enough people's 150, then suddenly you have something. I'm connected to a whole bunch of people in New Zealand, and so I have conversations about marketing in New Zealand. I'm connected to 150 people intimately. Your question might be, how can I know several thousand people? Of course I do not. But if you can be part of enough people's 150, meaning they only know 150 people, you connect into theirs. If you can be part of enough people's 150, then suddenly you have something. I'm connected to a whole bunch of people in New Zealand, and so I have conversations about marketing in New Zealand. I'm connected now in Mexico. I can have my conversations here. I have so many places where I travel and spend time with people that they think I live there. Because then they invite me to tweet ups and coffee and things. And I'm like, I'm 4,000 miles away. Oh, okay, so when can you be here? This, by the way, is a college site which is using a Ning platform. Have you heard of Ning already? See? No? Okay, a few. Ning, Ning.com, allows you to make free social networks that have the same kinds of attributes as Facebook. For the very expensive price of $20 or so a month, you can skin it, make your own colors, take away all the AdSense, sorry Google, and you can make your own network. So you can make very small, powerful networks connecting through those kinds of tools. We do, you the culture in this room, do this better than most places I travel. You give, you share. How can I help? The more you share before you ask for something, the more impact your ask has. When I ask the community that I've built, because of what I do in a given day, I try to do a 90-10 rule. Ephraim used 90-10 in a different way last night. My 90-10 is this. 90% of the time I give, 10% of the time I ask. How successful am I with my 10% ask? 100%. Because if you show the face of giving all the time, you get back so much more. If you are on Twitter and you're saying to me, can you tweet my stupid contest? Can you tweet my dumb link? Can you show my new microsite? I unfollow you after a while. It's an opt-in society. Well, it's the same with your friends, right? You know your friend who asks too much. What do we do with that person? Ring, 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 ring. Oh, voicemail. Sorry, I'm home right now, and I'm not picking up the phone. Don't forget the physical and the real-time networking. Clearly, you have this mastered. I watched you out there, but other people don't. That's my friend Glenda. Glenda wrote an entire book and writes a daily blog with one thumb. She has, I think, cerebral palsy. She has one thumb that works well, and so she can type one thumb at a time on a very soft pad, one character at a time. Glenda came to this conference. This is me in Chicago with her, sporting my closer to Seth Godin haircut. She drove her little scootery thing, I don't know the word, all the way to Oprah Winfrey's studios to try to meet Oprah, all by herself in the rain. If she can do that, if she can go out all by herself, she can't speak well, you don't understand her words, and she just wandered into the street this way. If she can do that, then you can connect with people no matter how shy you think you are. Experience marketing, the point is not to forget, once we get to digital, that we don't forget that there's a real world. This is, you saw Joseph, this is Joseph. We're in January. That depressed-looking Japanese man on the right is the chairman of Panasonic Corporation, Yoshi Yamada. And so we're asking him questions and filming the hell out of him. He probably never felt like such a strange press conference was born, but those are all bloggers, so they're safe. What happened here was an amazing experience, though, because this man is not used to this. This man is used to very cut, dry press conferences, yes? So he opened himself to us, and I'll tell you the rest of that story sometime. Liquor, my favorite. This is Maker's Mark. It's a bourbon whiskey. Do you know Maker's Mark? Have you heard of it? I went on a tour of their plant. By the end of this tour, I am a passionate supporter of this brand. I am amazed by how they make it. I had my hands in the corn, not in that. I had my hands in the corn that makes the stuff. I got to smell. Everything you do makes you a fan. And their entire facility is open for touring. I mean, you could walk over and put your hand in that wax if you didn't need your hand anymore. It's very, very hot. But you wouldn't know the way they just they're burning themselves. But it made me such a fan. So experience marketing. As we move to digital, do not forget the physical. It's so important. Oh, you know those the pedometer that you wear for health? You walk and it tells you how many steps you walked. Humana, who is a healthcare company, when did you ever hear healthcare and interesting, made the pedometer connect to the fish tank. And so these fish here are walking an average of, 2,000 steps a day. This is a pretty big achiever. This is the office, I don't know how you might say it, suck up. This is the person who wants the boss to like them. This would be me because I don't walk. So yeah, it's a pedometer. So that's interesting marketing. They made bicycles marketing. They made bicycles an advertisement for healthcare because these bicycles sit in a very special rack, and you swipe your debit card, and you could take the bike out for a ride in the cities. And in the USA, we don't do a lot of biking, as you can tell by my slender form. And so they thought that if more people got more healthy, this is one way. Think of this. This is a healthcare company helping you bike more because you'll be more healthy. That's built-in marketing. It's for free. You pay for the bike. Trust agents need to learn how to be humans again. This is what I do. This is the crux of all that I do. That really happy man, it's so funny because it's such a sad ending. His store closed anyway. John is his name, the man with the scissors, and he made a restaurant where he decided to photograph a customer of the day. And he decided to sign everyone who would willingly sign up for Twitter and send them tweets to tell them what kinds of sandwich deals they had. He crowdsourced his sandwiches to allow people to pay for the right to name a sandwich. So there was a Chris Brogan sandwich because I gave him a donation. But he was very much interested in how humans related to him. His problem is the same problem all real estate has: location, location, location. This man chased me through St. Louis to give me those things. Those are called gooey butter cake. And they're essentially 4,000 calories per one. So they're a health food because there's no bacon on top. That's what I discovered. But he was so desperate to tell me this is what people in St. Louis consider holy for a delicious food. But he was a human artist because the story lives on. His name is Michael. Strange boy. This is my comic store guy. Can you tell? His name is Mick. Mick is on Twitter. Mick direct messages me. Oh, cinco. Let's go fast. Mick's a nice guy. This is a woman who had a bookstore, and the bookstore closed, and she ended up making the bookstore in her house. Don't let them get you down. Share all the time. You know Mitch's point about sharing? Do you know why it's interesting? Because sharing is really how this all gets done. I don't even know. Putting it on paper, right? See, it's funny when you go fast, yeah? I should have started this way. All right, great. So, thank you. You know, I could have thought about this better. You know, for every 20 pesos you give me, I'll talk less. I could probably get 10,000 pesos, and we could all go drinking. I'd buy. No, my point, when we're done being a human artist, when we're done learning the magic of being our own good human, build armies. When I travel, see, the irony is that I travel all the time to tell people why using the web is awesome. What? I get on an airplane to come all the way here to say the web is great for making friends. Brilliant. But what I really come here for is to make an army. You know, the people here, Lucia, Daniel, Mini, everybody I meet, is another chance to make a new army who then does this on their own behalf and grows the same kind of message that I believe in with all my heart. This is, to me, this is as important as the new phone was 100-something years ago to business, and this is as important as email was 30 years ago, only this is more human because we don't have to use it for business. We can use it for connecting with our families, et cetera, et cetera. With me? Great. We talk about economies of trust. Currency is not the only money. Money is not the only currency. Trust is an economy. Trust is an economy because when I say to someone, I will vouch for you, I will put my name against what you're doing. It was neat that he had to run the whole way. He's probably held that up for 25 minutes, I just thought. A while ago it said only 1 hour. Trust is an economy, meaning don't sell yourself out ever. Believe in what you're doing. And if that means a change of job, even in this terrifying crisis, do it. Connect laterally is what I said earlier in the networking. Build small, powerful armies because the more of us learning together is going to learn better. This is to remember cafes. Think cafes. For every McDonald's, for every Starbucks, There's a beautiful cafe that I did not get to see here in Mexico City that was made by someone with love who is just that one little shop. Cafes are where the magic is. If you Google a few things, grow bigger ears does not tell you how to grow bigger ears. It tells you how to use free listening tools. If you Google if I started today, that'll give you a sense of how I started with social media and what I would do if I were me now. If you Google my name and then the word outposts, you'll see my strategy on that. And if you go to chrisbrogan.com/best-of, that's sort of some of my best posts, so that maybe I could accelerate some of your learning and you don't have to hear the whole hour. I would say questions, but I think I have a minute and a half. That's my daughter, Violette. She's quite the ham, and evidently she got that from her dad. That's my Twitter, my email, my phone. I guess here you dial, 00, and then that. Call me all you want. I don't answer. I love voicemail because you could delete it faster. But I do love you. I don't think I have time for questions, and I like cocktails as much as you do, and we still have so much more to do. But thank you so much for your time and your attention.